fair, I don't think as a result there's any chance it can happen.
That's why Sharon Roach would have to back it. But you're right. You're right.
Yeah. All right. My legal team is going to stick around. Coming up, my take. I think that at least one of these witnesses, family members, will strike a chord with at least one of the jurors. Questions remaining about exactly how Peterson committed the crime. I say they will not impose death. All right. Let me go back to my guests. Donald Schweitzer. The defense has to be concerned here, do they not? Both parents testified in the guilt phase of this case, and it seems that the jurors just may not have believed them. Is that a concern when you call the family in the penalty phase?
Absolutely, because that's all he has right now, the fact that he doesn't have the criminal background.
But how much does it matter that these jurors may not have believed the parents in the guilt phase?
Because that's all he has to support the fact that, you know, he shouldn't be executed. He's this great person. If they don't like the parents and they don't believe him, everything the defense says is gone then.
One thing, Dan, which is really dangerous for Jackie Peterson, which takes the stand, is that quote that you put up on the screen a couple of weeks ago, where she said, deny everything when you speak to law enforcement. And that almost, what it does is sort of insinuates to the jury she knew something. She must have known something. Why would she be telling her son to deny everything?
Well, a lawyer would tell her the same thing, right?
Well, I mean, certainly when you're dealing with law enforcement, you have to be careful, but it's just, if you pull a statement like that out of context, as it would be in impeachment, it's very powerful.
Daniel, how much of a cross-examination are we going to see of these witnesses? Both sides, both the prosecutors cross-examining Peterson family, defense attorneys cross-examining Lacey's family.
Well, Dan, I can tell you how it should be done. There should be no questions of the Rocha family, not a one. Geragos should sit there and just basically hide his head, almost in shame for his client, or at least in recognition of their pain as parents who, one thing we know, whether Scott killed Lacey or not, the real victims in that courtroom now are the Rocha family. I spoke to one of the top death penalty prosecutors in the state, a man with 10 death verdicts. He says that to get death in this case, the prosecution has to go after the Peterson parents and do sort of what Mercedes said, use that deny tape and other things to show they're complicit in the cover-up.
And they have to make sure, Mr. Schweitzer, the Peterson family, they do not try and proclaim Scott's innocence on that witness stand, and I've got to believe that's going to be hard for them.
It's going to be very difficult. They're talking about him being this wonderful person, but the jury's seen all these statements he's made on TV about being innocent and lying and all this other stuff. So it's going to be a hard sell for them.
Dan, but looking at the jury...